Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Simnaya. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, Black Brits are the ones calling Black people and asking them, why are people like, why are you guys being happy? Why are you guys rejoicing? Like, that they understand that that man did not stand, was against gun control and all that. Then why are they being joyful over what happened that nobody should even? And I am saying this, why can Black Brits not stay back in their own lane and not talk about some certain things that they know nothing about, especially when it comes to some stories coming out from United States? It's okay not to have opinion over some certain things and decided to stay on your own and not talk about it, because this is the kind of something they've been doing on daily. Sometimes you see them jump out and say BS, Now, let me tell you all this. It's okay not to talk about some certain things. You can sit back to learn or listen to the people. Don't think they are crazy, because they know what they are doing. At first, you guys were denying that there is racism in where you are. And then as time goes on, it is hitting you guys back to back. And you guys started opening up. When Black people never hide about the racism that goes on where they are in. They are so quick to mount their camera and all that to say BS that will put them in trouble. It's okay not to have opinion, especially when it comes to Black people. If you do not know what is going on, you can actually ask. I'm sure they will explain to you. Let's get into this video.
Why are Black British people talking about Charlie Kirk and trying to chastise Americans, specifically Black Americans, for the response that we have?
Those of you celebrating Charlie Kirk's passing, shame on you. He may not have agreed with all his political views, but death is not what he deserved. Assassination is not what he deserved. If you don't agree with his political views and you're celebrating his death, it means you're a hypocrite. Yes, he was pro-guns and he said a lot of questionable things in the past concerning human life. But if you truly disagreed with what he said, you wouldn't be happy that he got...
There's this incessant thing that happens with people from Europe, particularly British people, that American hot topics, American politics, American society and culture is something that they feel that they can speak on, and they have the authority to offer their opinion. 9.99 times out of 10, their take is usually wrong, out of context, lacks historical context and nuance, and you just don't know what you're talking about. The fact that you can come online and talk about Charlie Kirk, who is a figure you probably just discovered last week, is so asinine, because you're unaware of what a white evangelical Christian in America is. You're unaware of the neo-Nazi KKK and how that ties into white nationalism of America. You're unaware in the white American identity. You're unaware of all the things that matter in our country, for our history and our culture as Black people existing in this country. You're unaware. So when you're unaware of all of these elements and all of the parameters that are actually giving the response you're seeing from people about his passing, don't comment on it. Don't comment on it. You'd be hard pressed to find any Black person in America talking about the inner workings of what it means to be British, Black Britishness, being white in England, what it means to be Black in the British system, because we don't know about it. We don't know about it. And then the fact that your takes are all rooted in this like colonial version of Christianity, and it's your Blackness goes here, your Christianity goes here, even though the Christianity you have was given to you by a colonizer, and you're valuing that system of Christianity to, like, let's not turn the other cheek and be forgivable and forgive it. Fuck that, man. And we don't need you to try to speak on how people should react by someone who is literally a figurehead and represents centuries of oppression thoughts that turn into violence. Have a good day.
The more confusing things, and it's a very confusing week online, is seeing Africans, both Black British and continental, mourn and talk about Charlie Kirk as if he was a beloved family member and as if he cared about them. One stark contrast between Black British people and Black Americans is that in America, we are Black before anything. So even if I'm a Christian, even if I'm American, even if I'm anything, I'm Black first. So if anybody goes against Blackness, we are against that thing. You guys being Christian, and like I said, you are a colonial version of Christianity, which upholds white supremacy. You telling us that Charlie Kirk was this amazing man, you guys should mourn him, you should forgive him because he's Christian, that is inherently anti-Black. The problem I have with Black British people speaking on this topic and various topics is that Black British people in the UK are a minority, oppressed, ostracized group. But it appears that you always side with the colonizer or side with the oppressor, and the way you identify on politics, identity politics, and the way you have opinions on things. So when something is intrinsically American, because don't forget, regardless if Charlie Kirk came to the UK a couple of times, regardless if he talked to UK figures about politics, he's American. It's white evangelical Christian nationality. And that is particular and specific to America. That group exists here in contrast to Black people. They are here to uphold the identity of white America and for America to be a white place. All of his views stem from that group giving him power and support, and then our government also holding these views, which then lead to the oppression and continued subjugation of Black people. You are completely unaware, uneducated, and ignorant to the fact of this, of the groups, of the history of white evangelicals, of how they exist, or why someone like Charlie Kirk exists, and why he gets sympathy and empathy from all these white people in America. You guys have your own issues in the UK. You have to deal with people like Kimmy Badenoch. You don't see me coming around here talking about Kimmy Badenoch and how she's a coon for the white nationalists in the UK, right? Because I don't understand the inner workings of how she even exists or why she exists as a Black British person in the UK. But what I do know is that white evangelicals do not like us. They hate all Black people. They hate all gay people. They hate anyone that's not a straight white man. They even hate women. So for you guys in Africa and in the UK to come online and mourn or tell us to have empathy for someone, how about you do research and educate yourself as to why the response is indifferent? Because we're not celebrating his death. The response is indifference for somebody who wanted us obliterated and somebody who wanted to take our rights away. Someone who said Black women don't have brains. Someone who said Black men were better under slavery because we commit less crime. The list goes on. This has nothing to do with you. This is an American issue with an American person, with American history, American culture, American subgroups, American racism, and American Black people.
You know, the Black British reaction to Charlie Kirk is very interesting and telling. And I'm not here to tell Black British Christians that they have incredibly low racial self-esteem. I think it's true, but I think that's been touched on enough. I don't really need to say that. But now the reason I'm saying it's telling, and honestly for me pretty expected, is because from my life experience, Black British Christians are often the type of people that you'll run into. You think they can treat you anyhow, but guess what, guys? That's okay, because they have God first or a Bible verse in their bio. And guess what? They also post one on their page every few weeks. So the way they act is fine because they're God's child. Like, it's so fine. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that people like that would just have so much grace for somebody like Charlie Kirk, who absolutely went around spewing hatred, like just every ism there is, he was spewing, and then covering up with like a God first persona, this Christian facade, because yeah, same behavior. Those two, like him and the demographic of Black British Christians, yeah, from my perspective, same behavior. His is just on a global scale. So yeah, like, it's just very telling and very expected for me, but it has also consolidated the belief that a lot of you are very strange, extremely strange, and I need to keep staying away from that demographic. I never do video responses, so let me start today. You said number 1, no, completely fine. We're on the internet, I can't force you. Number 2, your lack of intellect is obvious. I'm going to come back to this. Number 3, you didn't answer the question. I did answer your question. You said if my son, brother, father did the same thing, would I have the same response or something like that? Something along those lines. And I told you, you've got the wrong babe. I have a history and politics degree. I would expect something like that to happen to them. Historically, actions like that have consequences. Like, you've got the wrong babe. I'm so sorry about that. And now going back to the lack of intellect part, what I find so funny, and people do this a lot with me on TikTok, right? And on the internet in general, because I've even had it happen on Twitter. You asked me a question, and you thought by mentioning brother, son, father, you were going to tug at my heartstrings. And you didn't. You didn't, because I don't have a son. Brother, father, I don't talk to those. So yeah, you've got the wrong babe. And because you didn't get the answer that you wanted, because your attempts at emotional manipulation did not work, you have decided to attack my intellect. You are telling me I have a lack of intellect, but what I find hilarious, what I find absolutely, absolutely hilarious is that I did answer your question initially. You've now come back to say I didn't answer your question. So if anyone's showing a gross lack of intellect here, it is you, because you clearly can't read. Can you read? Can you read? But so, yeah, I just find that funny because can I also just say, not just to you, to everyone who loves to do this on my page, guys, I'm not the content creator, the type of content creator that you have to save face with. Like, I've even done it before in my own comment sections. If I've come at people crazy, I apologize. So can I just say, you didn't have to do all this. You could have just apologized or even deleted your comment and gone about your day. But yeah, you didn't. So here we are.
That's all I got from this video. I don't care about them because majority of them know nothing. I remember back then when they said that it's only black people, black Americans that like racism affects and all that. The fact that there is no racism in there where they are and all that. But now it is telling. Now I am going see what that brother said is true because you all know that I am a media girl. So when you are into media, you will see some certain things, even the people that you know that are in support of that. I know someone, the person is also a content creator and she is Nigerian. Yes, I might be giving too much information, but yes, she's Nigerian. She is United Kingdom as I speak to you. I think she's South African and Nigerian, all mixed. Yes, both. And to my great surprise, we are actually mutuals on Instagram. And I came across her video where she went for Charlie Kirk's rally. I think in UK, they went to protest against what happened to Charlie Kirk. And they are saying that, blah, 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 blah. And nobody should celebrate. No, but why are some people? When I saw the video and pictures, some people were like, oh yeah, what happened to him was so terrible. And why are people rejoicing? When I saw the video and the crowd was a lot, I was like, people that don't, some people just don't know anything about your history. Some people don't even know what he has said. Some people don't even know him. And probably they have heard that he was unalive. And so we're like, oh, how can they unalive? I am not telling anybody that unaliving somebody is good. It's a very terrible thing and nobody should even think of it. Nobody should try it. Don't try it, And in the comment section, I'm like, I learned he was a good father. So we're like, oh, he was a Christian. He was a Christian father. I don't know if I want to cry or laugh. Some people are very horrible at their own errors because, I was reading all these things. Guess what I was in? Yemo. You all be talking like this person. The seriousness that comes with, oh my God, he has kids. Oh, I am so scared for the wife and kids. Oh, he was such a Christian father. He preached God's gospel. I was like, which God gospel are these people talking about? Some people can just make up stories, and then start spreading it and make it look like it's even true. Some people have no idea about this person, And someone, I remember, I think I've told you people, someone like, what, just because he had an opinion, that one saw hell on my hand that day. And sincerely speaking, I don't take British people serious, and they're very serious. I don't take them serious. And there are so many of them that have podcasts. I don't take them serious because they are too fake for my liking. Yeah. So don't ever take any British, especially all these, they are Africans. That is another one. And some of them, because some of them were born there, to them, I am British, they don't even want to even tell you where they are from. Or I don't know, but It's kind of crazy, but do not ever listen to them because some of them are unintelligent. On a very serious note, I'm not lying to you. I'm not saying everyone, but majority of them are very unintelligent when it comes to race issue. They don't know, they don't have anything to say, they don't know what to say because they don't know it. And there is actually nothing wrong in trying to learn some certain things, not just coming out to blame. Because last I checked, black people who did not do anything to him. All right, I am being serious now, no jokes. Black people know nothing about this. The fact that people are they not seeing also their own people making did this person that made it, did the person not see their own people talking about it? So why did she go for black people? That is to tell you how unintelligent majority are there of them are. Critical thinking, sometimes we think it's common, it is never common, it's very hard, you know? So yeah, I don't seriously, but I'm sure you all know also Madam Joyce. I'm sorry that I'm also even tagging her into this, but they are very loud. This is the kind of something Madam Joyce would do, but thank God I did not see Madam Joyce talking about this. Hopefully she knows better or she knows better. I mean, she has probably grown because sometimes I feel like, sometimes they make mistake and then start correcting themselves. So I hope she is growing behind my back. I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.